Hello everyone.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
And I will present about chapter 60, which is about the Renaissance. And the Renaissance was the period of the brilliant Dickens and many other artists. And uh, between 3050 to 60,000, people just start to change it at the time, and they when the world changed through art, science, and architecture. And what was the Renaissance? The Renaissance means rebirth, and it was time for the great creativity, and people started to start like learning again. That period was called Middle Age, and they started to celebrate what people could achieve, and they also only focus for the individual achievement. And why this the power? The Greek scholar moves to the Western Europe, and they bring back the Greek manuscript book, and also the because of the church weakness, people start to realize that they have to look after themselves rather than only listen to all about the church set. And the part two, where the family like Petro and also the city in the Florence, they just to help the artists and also pre-depends what events by Johann Gutenberg in 1439, which have spread a lot of idea and easy and cheap. And Euremus, the famous scholar, the uh, the scholar called the humanist, they they study grammar and history, and that Euremus was their leader. And Euremus, also known as the father of the humanist movement, and he criticized church for focusing on the showy things like they focus on power rather than just focus on the Jesus teaching. And the greatest writer of the Renaissance. There are three people. The first one is Dante, who wrote the Divine Comedy, which is about the afterlife. Machiavelli wrote The Prince. It is about the politic. And the Shakespeare, one of the finest English writer, and even his work today is still very famous. And Leonardo da Vinci, and he was the ultimate Renaissance man who expert in many things. Like he not just a painter, he also brilliant in study of plants, rock, and engineer. And his famous work was painting Mona Lisa and The Last Supper. And Michelangelo, he painted Sistine Chapel Sally, and he not just a painter but also architecture. He designed the dome of the Saint Peter Basilica, which is a very huge, and they people can go there and many people. His famous was the Last Judgment. And other artists. Other artists also these two are also giants of the Renaissance time. Titians produced over 700 painting and Raphael, famous for painting Madonna, which is painting of the Jesus Mother. A Renaissance. Renaissance building was a very huge and round arch, tall columns, and big dome. They got this idea for the ancient role. For example, St. Paul Church in London. A Renaissance music. During this time, the music was not just focused only on church. They started to play this for fun and entertainment, like the instruments like harpsichord, violin, and lute. And Palestrina, known as the father of the modern music in the Renaissance time. and the birth of the motorcycle. And in this, during the birth of the motorcycles, people, scientists didn't believe in the OCD. They just try to prove that is right or wrong. Roger Bacon, he is very famous scientist and known as the founder of the experimental science. And Nicholas Nicholas Copernicus, he was the person who to prove that the Earth the Earth was actually travel around the sun, and before him, people didn't know about the Earth located. They only people there only know that the Earth was in the center of the universe. And Galileo Galilei invented the telescope, and the he proved that the Copernicus was right that the Earth actually travel around the sun, and he observed the heavenly bodies like planets, stars, and he was called the father of the experimental science. And Sir Isaac Newton, his famous book was Principia Mathematica, and he was the person who discovered the law of motions and gravity, how the things fall down. And he is a very important uh, scientist ever in history. René Descartes, the French philosopher and mathematician, he invented analytical geometry, and he was the person who to prove that every problem can be solved by math. William Harvey. William Harvey discovered the circulations of the blood in the body. Before people didn't know about the blood flow through the body, and he showed that the heart pumps blood for the whole body. And the two famous people, Vesalius and Leeuwenhoek. And Andrew Vesalius studied the human body structures, and he invented the math and the detail of the human body structures. Anton van Leeuwenhoek used microscope to discover the bacteria or germ. And Francis Bacon, he was a founder of the scientific method. He believed that you see evidence to find the truth, and the scientific method is about step by step to find out the things and what it is true. And in conclusions, the Renaissance changed art, music, and science forever. And uh, if we don't have this sticker or th- this sticker, we our lives today will look very different. Thank you.